was harassed at work because I was the only one there that was 21.
Yeah.
And everyone was like in their 40s and they found my Instagram and they're like,
No way. The best substance I'd say out there, the best and healthiest substance is probably caffeine. And even caffeine has its drawbacks.
I was like 95 pounds and then I got up to like 115, like pretty fast. And I started posting like all.
And how long?
Like,
so, what's up, fam? Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna turn your. Is that loud enough for you?
yeah,
Do you like it louder or softer? You like it harder?
loud.
Loud?
Yeah, I'm low-key deaf.
Yeah, she is. Little bodybuilder DJ. Okay, so this is Evie.
Hi.
We got Evie on the podcast. One of my boys, Evie.
One of the boys.
One of the boys.
One of the homies.
How do you say your last name?
Evgenia Lvovna.
Oh, that is sick.
Yeah. I go by Evie for this exact reason because nobody can pronounce any part of my name.
Say it one more time.
Evgenia Lvovna.
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 Perfect.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm vampire.
That's Romania.
Oh, that's
enough.
Romania?
Close enough.
I suck you dry.
No, definitely not.
Evie, you, okay, whatever. Lvovna, something like that.
Sure.
Okay. How do you spell that?
Lvovna.
L-E-V.
Lv.
L-V.
O-V.
O-V.
N-A.
N-A. Okay. That clears up everything except that I'm probably not going to remember how to pronounce that.
Definitely not.
That's pretty dick. Okay, so I got a question real quick just to jump right into it. So Evie's one of my buddies, and she's been in the social media and fitness industry for quite a minute now.
Quite a minute.
Yeah. Met her with a bunch of my friends also, running into each other at festivals and stuff.
Lots of raves.
Whole classic lifestyle. And I was hoping to ask actually, so what brought you into like social media and like what did you do before social media, if you don't mind me asking?
So I started social media when I was in college. The main reason I started was my first boyfriend, like he broke up with me and he cheated on me. So I started working out and then I started posting like my progress pics. And I'm 5'8", more or less. Depends on, if I'm slouching or not, to be quite honest with you. Depends on my posture that day. So I'm more or less 5'8", and I was 95 pounds. And
holy
that's
shit.
like borderline like anorexic, but that was just how my body naturally is. Like I've been a gymnast and a dancer my whole life. So I was just naturally very built like a string bean. So I started working out, posting progress pics, because heartbreak will do that to you, Everyone's been there. Everyone has like the same kind of gym story. So yeah, I started posting that, started gaining traction. And during like one of the World Cups, the World Cup was in Russia, I started posting pictures of me wearing like Russian fan gear, and that blew up too. So that's how I started social media, was posting just like random fitness stuff, because back in the day there was not really anyone posting that. It was like Jen Salter and like Summer Rae.
Right.
Like those were the influencers when I was like posting, fitness stuff on Instagram. So that's kind of how I started, and then I progressed into like other like pursuits like DJing and whatnot.
Gotcha. Fuck. Holy shit. I mean, ain't that like how it always starts though?
Yeah. Everyone I've met that starts fitness, it's always because of like a heartbreak or just some major life event, or they just want to be like confident, whatever it is, like bullying, something.
Have you ever seen that YouTube channel? The Breakups Make Bodybuilders?
No.
No? It's like a savage YouTube channel where it's just like montages of like breakups and then the casual like what is it? Like aesthetic god like Z's back with some rave hardstyle music.
No. Yep.
But essentially it's a whole entire YouTube channel of just like why you should be going to the gym.
Yeah, that's all it takes is one heartbreak and you're fine and you're good to go for the rest of your life.
It's kind of sad how that happens. But I mean, honestly, I think if anyone can like utilize and redirect their energy to something that's more beneficial for them, there's no better way to go about like some traumatic or, hardship situation such as a breakup. Yeah. Yeah. Like the gym or anything, like even like redirecting your energy into like a marketing or a new business or something that you want to do.
Is that how you started working out? I don't think I've ever even asked you.
So mine was a little bit more complicated. I didn't even have my first girlfriend until like the end of high school.
You're making that seem like it's so. My first boyfriend when I was 19.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Shit.
That's when I had my first boyfriend.
Damn. Okay.
So I'm late.
I'm kind of wait. Why till 19? Is there like a reason?
I was a nerd.
Oh, same.
Up until I still am, but I was a nerd in high school and very socially awkward. Like I'm a little less socially awkward now, but like genuinely like all I did was study and play piano.
Yo, same, bro, same.
So like I just had no social life. Like I played piano, I went to like acting school and then freaking like gymnastics and dance. Like I genuinely like didn't do anything else besides academic endeavors. So that kind of put a damper on dating for me because I just have really strict parents as well.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
That sounds exactly like my life. Literally just, dude, literally just sheltered. So sheltered. I couldn't even see fucking daylight, man. I feel like I was an actual vampire.
Same, but like it was kind of low key my choice to just do schoolwork all the time because I was just academically motivated and inclined, and I just had like this superiority complex where I wanted to be like number one in everything I do, and one of that was school. That's
kind of fucking crazy from a young age.
Yeah,
I think because I feel like most kids just want to like fuck off and like play games and video games and just I don't know, like me, just go to buffets and do nothing.
I like going to buffets. Don't get me wrong. I like doing that. Now.
Okay. Well, I think, I guess going back to like how we started. Yeah. So mine was essentially because of that, like how I was sheltered since my parents had their own plan for me. And living in some, place that's like rural and, very lacking in diversity, like College Station, Texas. I was like very different being a fat Asian. So I had like
I can't, you have to show me at the end.
I'll show you at the end.
Fat because I can't imagine that.
I'll show you. But yeah, I was different. And so people wanted to bully me a lot and it really sucked. And the reason that it was just honestly so terrible for me, I think is just, I had no outlet since when I went back home to my family, my mom especially, not saying, this is just part of the culture. So they did nothing wrong. This is literally how they grew up as well. My mom, unfortunately, also had the same pressure on me as well. So, I didn't really have anyone to go to for, consolation or to make me feel better or anything. Instead, I would go home to someone telling me that like I'm fat and I also need to lose weight. So at one point I kind of just snapped. And I started fasting and like going over the toilet if I ate too much, doing a lot of really stupid shit.
Going over the toilet, meaning like throwing up?
Yeah. And then also, but at the same time I was doing that, which is really contradicting, at the same time I was doing that, I asked my parents like, oh, well, okay, you guys don't usually want to buy me anything that I like, but I want to have like a gym set at my home. Like I just want like a bench press set and like a set of dumbbells. Like, is that okay? And they're like, yeah, absolutely. Like we'll get that for you for your birthday. And so they got that for me and I started lifting in my garage, just staring at my mom's Honda Pilot.
That's a really nice gift.
Yeah, it was. But they only wanted to, I'm really glad that they gave it to me because they wanted me to, they just wanted me to progress. They wanted me to be, I was an only child, so.
Same.
Yeah.
So you get it. Yeah.
Yeah. The pressure.
The pressure is crazy.
I feel like there's two different kinds of only children,
It's like the very strict, like only child that they put everything into, or they just don't really care and they kind of just let that child do whatever they want.
Yeah. Yeah. Something along the lines. Where they get like spoiled and they get everything.
Yeah. Right? We're in that really strict kind of like our parents, like where our parents is prodigy. Yeah. And if we don't fulfill like what they weren't able to.
It makes them look bad.
It makes them look, I know.
Yeah. But culture. Okay, dude, holy shit. So not till 19, huh?
I went to my first party. I shit you not. I went to my first party at 18 when I got to college. I had never been to a party before in my life. I had my first alcoholic drink at 18. Like Well, you know, besides like church and like family thing.
Yeah.
That doesn't count. But like going out in like a function and having an alcoholic beverage by myself with my parents not involved, I was 18.
Damn. Shit.
Yeah.
Shit. Now look at you.
Late bloomer.
Going to raves, bro.
Going to raves every single weekend, going from like 0 to 100. And now just like every week I have to be at every rave because why not?
No, but honestly, Evie's such a good girl. Like she literally hardly does anything. Like she'll go to the raves and she's like basically completely sober, but she's still having a good time.
I'm sober, but like I'm drinking alcohol. So like everyone that's ever came up to me at a rave, I've usually been like pretty buzzed.
Pretty buzzed?
Pretty buzzed.
Okay.
Or really drunk. Like
I feel like I haven't gotten to see you really drunk yet.
Because I've been like so cautious as of late. Because usually either I'm driving or like we're like alternating who's DD. Because like my group doesn't do anything when we go. We always like stay very much sober. And if we do something, it's like alcohol.
Okay.
So one of us has to drive. So we kind of take turns on who's drinking and who's more like responsibly drinking. So like 1 drink an hour, pacing ourselves.
Okay. Okay.
You know, like boring.
Yeah.
The boring shift. But there's always got to be one per festival.
Yeah, there has to be. Like it's I think like the most important thing when it comes to like festivals and even doing anything if you're conscious about your health and fitness is like going into a festival or like an event with a plan. Like knowing like, oh, this person's going to be, say, sober, and I'm going to be consuming this kind of food.
I forget to eat. Every rave I go to, the last thing on my mind is like going to go get food in the middle of it. Like I'll get food after the fact, but it's like, can you imagine how long, like raves are, usually you show up like 5, 6, 7, like somewhere in that time frame. And then you'll leave at like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. And like EDC Vegas. Did you see me at EDC Vegas or no? Last year?
I don't remember. I don't think so.
Well, that was like one of the few times where I was like absolutely blasted first day. Like so drunk. I made it to 8 a.m. I don't know how. And then that's like unlike me. Usually I'm so tired by like 1, 2 a.m. And then Saturday I was fine. Sunday, one of my friends was DJing and we both just got also absolutely blasted and we got back at like 5 or 6, I don't know, it was sunrise already. So what is that, like 6 a.m.? We were on the like bus back to from the artist lounge to Resort World. So that was also like a proper 3-day bender for me. But
dude, EDC is so much.
EDC is a lot. So much. EDC is a lot.
I just don't like.
You're gonna go this year. You're gonna go. Our whole rave group is going. You're going. Man. You don't have a choice.
Oh, dude, that's stressing me out.
You're gonna miss out.
Every single year EDC happens, I'm like, I'm not going next year. This shit was fucking crazy. I'm not going next year. I like was going to sleep at 11 a.m. This fucked up my entire like next 2 weeks.
Well, yeah, it fucks up a week. If you do like the hard reset, like I do, just stay up a whole day after the fact. Shit. No, I'm telling you, this is why Sunday I usually go the hardest. So that way I could do a full reset. Monday, I stay up pretty much like all day. And then I go to sleep at like 8 or 9 p.m. So that way I wake up at 5 and 6 and reset my whole sleep schedule.
That does make a lot of sense. That does work. But that's fucking hardcore, man.
Yeah.
That's fucking hardcore.
Raving is not for the weak.
I mean, every time, well, yeah, so basically every time I'm like, no, I'm not going to go next year. And then I fucking go again. I'm pretty sure I've been to EDC 4 years in a row now. Or, well, aside from the COVID years.
I went to the first EDC Vegas back after COVID. It was like in October. And then I went to the one in May. So this will be my 3rd EDC Vegas. Yeah.
Did you know that you're going to come back? Where you're like, oh, this was so sick, I'm going to come back again next year?
Oh, yeah, because I work with Insomniac.
Okay, well, that's cool then.
I work with Insomniac, so that's why I go to every rave, because they text me like a month prior, and they're like, hey.
What the festival is, right?
Yeah, they're like, hey, you want to go to this? I'm like, of course. Like, I don't know. Who's going to pass that up?
Yeah, oh, fuck, bro.
Free tickets every time? Who's going to pass that up?
Maybe
and like not just like regular tickets. I'm talking about like artist passes. So I get like full backstage access, all access. I could go anywhere I want. Like they give me a photographer that like I meet up with to do shoots for Insomniac. So it's kind of like a really nice
Yeah,
little perk.
it's an opportunity,
It's
right?
a nice
it's like a
opportunity.
game changer.
Yeah.
Oh man, dude,
And like great networking for me. So
okay, yeah, that
for
is
me, it's a plus. I'm working / networking / having fun.
right. Okay, so dude, so Evie is not only is she a bodybuilder and a fitness influencer, she's a fucking DJ, and she's about to kill it on stage. She's gonna fucking kill it in the game.
I'm in my prep phase right now. So like, you know how you have like your bodybuilding competitions?
Yeah.
I'm in my prep, so I'm like 12 weeks out or whatever you want to call it.
Okay, okay.
So I'm prepping for my summer like hard launch.
Okay, gotcha. Dude, I'm so excited for your outfits. She's got like some vampire-ass looking assassin.
It's like medieval kind of Game of Thrones-esque, like that whole mythical creature.
Big black hood with like a mystical gown, black gown, and then you got the
it's the
big
nerdiness, the nerdiness coming to life.
It's so sick though. It's like, oh, well, a little insight on a little secret project that Dion and I are creating together. I've
seen it.
Might be clothing. I'm not sure, but
it might be. Wink.
Wink, wink. I got to tell you what the names are later, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna need your help choosing. They're kind of ridiculous. But so okay. Can you tell me a little bit on how you went from 95-pound string bean to deciding to do social media?
To deciding to do social media, or like where I'm at now?
Like, what was your like career path beforehand, I guess, and then you decided to start doing fitness and everything, and then now you're here.
My career path before, like I was in university. I was studying marketing, finance, and international business. Like I have 3 degrees. Mm-hmm. So I really just wanted to go to law school, like super random. And then I also wanted to get my MBA. Like I was very like academically ambitious. Mm-hmm. And when I started posting on social media, I had no intention of being an influencer. Like I could care less. That was not something that I was like, I want to post because I want to get followers. I want to be clouded. Like I want people to know who I am and recognize me. Like I genuinely didn't care about any of this. I was literally just posting because I've never had a social media before. And I had like, I don't know, like 1,000 followers. So I was just posting like random content. Mm-hmm. Well, what's now dubbed as content back then was just like pictures that I would take like at the gym. So I was like 95 pounds, very skinny. And I started posting like before and afters. And one of the pictures, this was like 2016 or something. I was like 95 pounds and then I got up to like 115, like pretty fast. And I started posting like all like the comparison. I'd say like a year.
Okay.
Which is like impressive.
But it was like lean.
It was all lean. Like I was incredibly shredded. Like I had like a 6-pack from day one.
Damn.
Because I was like, imagine I think I was like 10% body fat for a female. Right now I'm 14. But back then I was like 10%.
Holy fuck.
And like, this is like my normal, like I'm not even trying kind of, I just have this genetic you have a predisposition.
Ectomorphic kind of physique then.
Yeah, exactly. So I remember I posted that one picture and I got like 30,000 likes and I had probably 2,000 followers.
Wow.
So back in the algorithm day, like that was a big deal.
It was.
And I got to like 10K in one day basically. And then just kept posting like random, I was living in Florida. So I was posting random like bikini pictures and just gym content. And it just started doing like really, really well. I started getting noticed by brands, bikini companies, fashion companies, like gym, whatever sponsors and athletic, whatever supplements. So it just kind of went up and up and up from there. But it wasn't enough for me to be like, okay, I'm going to quit school and I'm not going to like pursue this. I still graduated. I was valedictorian. And then, like the home upbringing really made that into me. So I graduated and then I started working at a marketing, like full service marketing agency. And I think I got up to like 500K at this time on Instagram, but I was still like, I don't know if this is what I want to do yet. Because it was like in Instagram influencing was very new. Right. Very, very new. And brands were scared to do like campaigns. It just was not a thing so much yet. Like nobody had budgets. This is how long ago it was. Like now it's so common. If you have like 100K, you can just quit your job and you're fine. But like back then, if you have like 500K, like it's still kind of like iffy. You don't know yet. Like this was a whole new world for brands to like drop hundreds of thousands of dollars on influencer marketing campaigns. It was unheard of. So I was working in a full service marketing agency in a cubicle from 8 a.m. to like 6 p.m. every day. Miserable. I did that for 3 months. And then I just randomly like quit and was like, I want to do social media full time because I can't sit in an office cubicle. I was harassed at work because I was the only one there I was like 21.
Yeah.
And everyone was like in their 40s and they found my Instagram and they're like,
no way. That's
it was so awkward.
That's funny as shit. Was it a bunch of older dudes too that was just harassing
you? A lot of older dudes were harassing me. Of course. And just like my boss was like not really understanding of like a work-life balance. And me being like 21 at the time, I was like, don't call me on weekends. I'm not answering. Don't call me at like 8 p.m. I'm also not going to answer you. Like I want to have a life.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to be like, oh, I have to answer this client call. Like that's kind of where my detachment was from like that type of world and me wanting to pursue social media even more. Cause I was like, I can't be miserable like this for the rest of my life.
Yeah, dude, that you're like bringing up was exactly like mine.
Really?
Like I swear to God, I went through the exact same shit. Like decided to just fucking finish off my degree, decided to work as an engineer for like a year, and I fucking hated it. I hated it. Yeah,
it's
9 to 5.
Genuinely like horrible.
I mean, like I can understand for those engineers out there if they're like doing work that's like really aligned with their passion, but I wasn't. Like I was working for some shit for Sikorsky helicopters, but the work that I was actually doing personally was literally like, it was just, I didn't even really use my brain in any of it. I feel like I was just mostly doing like GD&T, which is a geometric dimensioning and tolerancing. And I was basically just sitting at a computer or I'd like go fetch some parts in the factory. And I'm just like, all I would do, like, especially in my free time, listen to some bodybuilding podcast and then wait for the day to be over so I could just go to the gym and rip some pre-workout and get a
Genuinely, that's what I would do at like midnight. After being done at work, I would go home, eat, go to the gym at midnight just to get in a lift. And then I'd have to be up in like 6 hours. But I was like, there's no way I'm not getting these fucking gains. And if I'm sitting in an office for like 9 hours a day, Monday through Friday, but it was the same exact thing. Like I would do boring spreadsheets all day long. And I was a marketing analyst. So I would have to look at keywords, develop patterns, and figure out which like keywords I need to optimize SEO. It was just, it's interesting. It's a useful skill to have in terms of branding for your own like personal brand and your own endeavors. But as a career, I can't do it. It's just boring. It doesn't like, I need a creative outlook. I need like something to do that stimulates my brain. This was just all busy work and unfulfilling.
Yeah, exact same thing. Going back, what did you do to gain your weight your first year?
Eat a lot. And I was not eating good food. Like first few years I was dirty bulking like crazy. When I tell you dirty bulking, I mean like I would eat McDonald's every day and like force myself. And I would, because I went to see a nutritionist because I was like, I'm concerned, like I'm really underweight and like I'm eating and nothing's working. So I had to have those like Ensure. Do you know what I'm talking about when you go to the like CVS or Walgreens or whatever, and you could get those little smoothies that are for weight gain? I would get those and they were like all like, I would have mass gainer every day as a female.
Holy shit.
Like so much McDonald's, so much Denny's, like the hardest dirty bulk you could possibly find. It was what I was eating for 3 years straight. And I felt fine. I felt great. Like surprisingly, like I was still shredded.
Yo, that is insane to me knowing just how like particular you are about food and like
now, like to go from that to where I'm at now and how crazy I am about like every food that I eat and like the stuff I put in my body is just insane. Because I was doing that for so long and I didn't feel bad at all. Like my body was so accustomed to eating like McDonald's, like 40 chicken nuggets and like burgers and like fries every single day with like a Coke. and then going to the gym, I feel perfectly fine.
Oh shit! I hope this doesn't encourage people, skinny people, to eat 40 chicken nuggets again.
No, don't do that, because eventually it's going to catch up to you and you're not going to feel so good.
Says a girl who gained 20 lean pounds in a year.
Yeah, I mean, I'm lean now, but like, oh god.
Did you like end up feeling that? Like, did it catch up to you?
Eventually I was like, this is not sustainable for me to eat like this all the time. I started like feeling a bit nauseous when I was eating and just feeling lethargic and just overall fatigue. Because I was like, this is not, especially like American fast food. Like European fast food's a bit better, but like the stuff that they put in American fast food is just like MSG, like intense amounts of sodium. So you're just addicted to it because your body craves the sodium.
Yeah.
And just all these other chemicals in it. So I was constantly just like wanting more, and I just was not feeling satiated when I would eat. Like I would still be hungry after having 3,000 calories at McDonald's.
Holy shit.
Because that's what my body was used to.
That is fucking nuts.
And like protein shakes morning and night.
And I can't believe you're so shredded now too.
Yeah, now.
I think, I mean, I feel like when people are that age too, it's just something that a lot of people, they can get away with it. But as you grow older, it's just like your body starts realizing like what kind of foods that it really needs, the proper sources of fuel. Yeah,
proper food, your metabolism slows down, all of that combined, just with like also like genetics. So it just all plays a factor. So you're not allowed to eat McDonald's every meal now. Just, after you go out. Okay, after a rave day.
So what got you into eating like the healthy foods that you do now? Because I know we were having that talk before. We were like at a restaurant or something with Bryn. Yeah, the Brazilian restaurant with Bryn. We're just like sitting around and talking about Evie was just going on a rant about how shitty American food is and how organic is totally fake.
I can rant about food for like 5 hours a day. And I usually, because that was right after I got back from Paris in Italy. So I was in Europe for over a month, and I started noticing the quality of food. And like usually like American cheese and American cheese products, just any cheese and dairy that I would eat here. Like I'm not lactose intolerant by any means, but it wouldn't feel the greatest. Like, that's all I'm going to say. But when I'm eating like a pizza or a pasta, anything heavy dairy products in literally anywhere outside of the US, I feel actually really good. Like no stomach problems at all. And I could actually like digest the food. And even like lettuce has great taste. Like I'm excited to eat lettuce. And here I would just rather not even touch a salad unless I go to a farmer's market and pick it myself. Like I'm not going anywhere near a salad because it lacks nutrients. So I noticed how much I break out every time I come back to the US and I have any sort of like American produce as opposed to European produce.
Oh, that's insane. Do you know what kind of foods in particular that make you like break out? Feel like that?
Tomatoes hurt my stomach a lot in the US, and I love tomatoes.
Damn, tomatoes.
Yeah.
Fuck, I fucking love tomatoes.
I love tomatoes too. I have no problem with tomatoes in Italy, but I have a major problem with them here in California. Like butter, what is it called? Butter lettuce? Like the most common lettuce that we have.
Okay. I don't remember what it's called.
To me, it tastes like water. It has like no flavor at all. I'm just like not intrigued to eat it at all. Mm-hmm. And basically like anything dairy, milk, even chicken. So I recently found that our chicken is banned we can't export our chicken to Europe because no country in Europe allows it because we put some sort of like growth hormones in there. Same thing with our farmed salmon, which I refuse to eat. If it's not wild caught, I'm not eating it because our farmed salmon also contains a lot of growth hormones and like bad ingredients.
But we love the GH.
Yeah. I mean, who's we? You. I'm good. I'm so good. I like eating my healthy food.
Sure, it's definitely different when you're eating it versus when you're injecting pharmaceutical grade.
It's a bit different, I think. I don't know though. Don't quote me on that. Don't quote me. I'm not an expert on growth hormone. I have no idea.
Dude, yeah, no, I've heard of a lot of that. I really don't know too much about it, but it's always intrigued me, especially since it's something that like over the course of time, especially as you grow older, you just slowly feel more and more and more. And then as you do things such as what are they called? the diet where you exclude all like a large majority of foods, especially those that you are suspect of causing you certain issues.
Oh, like a food intolerance test?
Not a food intolerance test. It's you just pull out all the, I don't know why I can't think about it. I brain fart pretty often, but you just pull out all the foods out of.
It's probably all that growth hormone that you're eating in your chicken and salmon. 100%.
It tastes good.
That's what's causing your brain fog.
It almost tastes as good as MSG. But you start adding back those foods back in there slowly, and every time you add back in food, you see no issues, then you know that food's good. And then you continue to add food back, and then you see no issues, you know that food is good until finally you figure out what is causing your issues. And I did that, and now all I eat is rice, chicken breast, salmon, wild caught, of course. Unfortunately, I've been eating some cheap chicken breast. I haven't felt any issues recently, but maybe I should. I don't know. Maybe I should check with it. Avocados, like kale and spinach mix.
Do you eat the same thing every day?
I eat basically the same thing every day.
You don't get bored?
Not anymore, because when I eat,
bodybuilders.
It's just mentally tied to that progression of like, you know, the thing that fucking makes me feel like the best is bodybuilding.
Stability and just predictability of like, this is your meal. You already know this is what you're going to eat. This provides like the best results for you.
Well, it's after so many years of experimentation with so many different foods. Like I've eaten a lot of different snacks because I'm a snacker too.
Yeah, I know.
Like I've eaten.
You own your snacks every time we go anywhere. You always have like snacks with you. That I'm confident. Rave the snacks.
Yeah, but like Sieta chips was so good. Like it was grain free, like cooked in avocado oil. Then I loved my Quest bars and stuff. Well, now I found out I can't really have Quest bars.
Why not?
When I consume it, I get lethargic and sleepy, and I think it's partly because of the dairy that's in it. Certain dairies are, I don't know, like if a dairy is lactose free, I find I don't have any issues. It depends on how much that dairy is filtered, and it doesn't always, it's not always indicated in the package. So some dairies make me feel like absolute dog shit, whereas some things like I feel like barbells, protein bars recently haven't made me feel nearly as bad as the Quest bars have. Okay. But that's just me, you know.
I don't know how you eat Quest bars. They're literally like a rock.
They changed it. They changed that. It's soft now.
Genuinely, I used to think that people could use that as a weapon. Because I when I first started lifting, I also had like Quest bars too, because that's all that they had. Yeah. There was no like diversity at the time. And I would like have that in my gym bag. And like by the end of my workout, I'd be like, this is literally like, I could smack someone with this and they wouldn't be okay. I was like, this is scary. I don't want to eat this.
Well, that's probably why Tom Billy, you changed that, because now it's a soft bar. They literally wrote on the package, it's like softer and better now.
Thank God. I needed that.
It's good now. I swear. I promise. It's good now. Except for the farts that it gives me. But aside from that, it's fucking fire. Farts. But yeah, I just cut down all those foods, and I mean, what I do now, all this stuff I eat now, is more so because now that I've been there, I don't really like, you know, after you cut certain things out for a long time, like I haven't eaten sugar in years, really. Like I'll have a little bit of sugar here and there, but essentially I've avoided it for years. Same with alcohol. Like I haven't had that for like 6 years, so I don't crave it at all.
Can't relate.
It's just out of sight, out of mind.
Sugar and alcohol.
But in doing so, though, it's like now it's just convenience. Like I'm focused on like my work. I'm focused on like, oh, I need to set up my podcast. I need to like research this.
Yeah, you don't have
and so now I have my food just ready for me. Yeah, and I enjoy it anyways. So it's one less thing to worry about. It's just hard for people to let go of that when they're on the train of addiction already. Say like food addiction, you know, junk food addiction, alcohol addiction, whatever it is. It just, yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I feel like bodybuilders, they kind of eat to sustain and they eat for a purpose. Whereas like for me, I'm a bodybuilder. Like I don't really like consider myself in that category. Like I train like a bodybuilder, but when I eat, I enjoy eating so much. So I eat for pleasure and for happiness.
Gotcha.
So I don't like limit myself. I kind of do everything in moderation. So even like stuff that I'm like, oh, I just genuinely can't stand X, Y, and Z, I'll still eat it a little bit because I know that my body is like craving it, like sugar and sweets. I know that it's not good for me, but I'm still like, I'm not going to deny myself of something that like a brownie.
Right.
And like feel bad about it.
Like all those fucking protein cinnamon rolls that bring Brins to every fucking event.
Every time. I have
to eat it.
I'm still eating it.
I have to eat it.
I'm still eating it.
I don't care how many sugar alcohols it has and how much it's going to make me fucking fart and shard myself later. I have to eat that cinnamon roll. And then if you guys do wish to help fund the podcast and fund all the editing as well as outreaching, then you can if you buy clothes from Young LA Clothing or Huge Supplements,
use code Nyle.
You can use my code Nyle for a discount off of that, and it'll also help give me a little bit of commission as well for my podcast. So word just came in that Evie just got fucking guest listed into Coachella. Woo! What?
I didn't even try. I'm like, I checked my phone because my phone's on DND like all the time, and I'm like looking through my texts, and they're like, yeah, I just got you an artist pass for Coachella. And I have no intent. I had no intent of going because, I don't know, Insomniac kind of spoils me. So every time I go to an event that's not Insomniac, if I don't know someone that's playing and I'm not like guest listed, that sounds so pretentious. But if I'm like, if I'm not like guest listed, I genuinely like, I don't really feel like spending the money on it because it is very expensive to go to these things. Like I had no idea because I've never... This sounds really bad. I've never had to pay to go to these things. So when I'm looking at prices, like I was looking at Coachella, I was like, there's no way people are paying $600 for GA. G of A.
Oh yeah,
admission.
Dude. It's really expensive. Coachella's crazy expensive, man. And
like how much is VIP? Like $1,500?
Probably something like, insane.
Who the hell is paying that for like 3 days? Plus it's just so many other variables that you have to pay for, like hotel, lodging. If you're drinking, you know, like a drink is $20 each, and then food at the event is like starting at $20, and then, you know, other things, whatever, transportation and outfits, like that shit racks up very fast. So it's like, you're not just paying to go to Coachella, like $1,500, you're paying $1,500 plus probably an extra like $1,000. So it's like $2,500, $3,000 for a weekend. For like 4 days.
It's pretty fucking crazy.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Because like I guarantee you those hotels are like very expensive. Because EDC I'm not happy about.
Oh, especially Coachella's so crazy that no one has been able to find a place around there. So hopefully I'm going to try to see if I can get you a little hookup.
Yeah.
But I'm not really sure yet.
Because if you guys are going, I'll give you my artist pass and I'm going to crash with like everyone that's going. As like a trade.
We'll talk.
No, we pass it back. We'll talk. Do one of those.
We'll talk.
I've snuck people into the EDC backstage areas and like other Insomniac things. I've done it before. And so have other people. It's not.
And so have other people.
Not that hard. We could just do the band pass back.
I mean, it is a thing.
It is a thing. No, it's a thing even for VIP. Like, let's be honest here. It's every dimension, every level of the whatever. You know, like I've gotten like the highest level is media conductor, which like I'm sure normal people don't even know what the hell that is. But music conductor.
Yeah,
I've gotten music conductor and like crew. Which music conductor, you could literally even walk on stage into the DJ booth and like start playing because they literally think that you're like a DJ for the event.
Right.
So I've gotten those before where I've literally gotten to be in the DJ booth, like pressing the buttons. If I really wanted to, I have had that access to that, sick. Which is pretty sick. But yeah, and then there's like crew. So that means you're a part of like the team of like, whether it's like a videographer, photographer for a DJ or their agent manager, whatever it is, that's crew. And then there's like guest passes, which is labeled artist passes, which gives you pretty much all access. Like you could still be on stage, but you can't be in the booth itself. So there's levels to this. There's levels to the amount of pretension that you can
Pretension?
Yeah, there's levels to our ego here.
Oh my gosh. I have gotten the, I don't even remember how I got it, but I got the music conductor pass once. But
yeah, I've given the music conductor pass to some of the people in our rave group at times.
Oh my gosh.
To get them into places. I like passed them one. Yeah.
You know, my boy, okay, so on the down low, my boy Dion once went with his friend like way back when and sent it to EDC and they jumped the fence and like broke
Honestly, I've seen that a lot.
Oh, really?
Like not even at just that festival. Like I think the number one festival I've seen that at is Rolling Loud.
Oh, I could see that.
It was
Rolling Loud.
Like, I don't know, like their security is awful, but even a lot of Insomniac events, their security is like not at top par, because I'll be hanging out in like the artist lounge, and I'm like, how the hell did all these people get back here? Like, I'm looking at their wrists, none of them have like the proper credentials on their wrists. So a lot of them, they don't even check. Like, it's so easy to sneak into these things if you really know where you're going and you know where you want to be and you have a mission. I'm just saying, because I've noticed. But I have the passes, I have the credentials, so.
Yeah.
But like, I've seen some stuff.
Yeah. I guess it is, in a way. In Evie's defense, though, she's going to become a DJ, so.
Yeah, in my defense,
this is just part of the game.
I'm noticing these things because I'm worried about like my future. It's fine to be worried about safety, you know?
Yeah.
Because like, what if you're a top level DJ? Let's say you're like, who's really hot right now? John Summit, right? So what I saw was his house literally got leaked. The address, the whole address, the whole apartment, everything got leaked. And there was an article written about how he just bought this place in Miami, and anyone could Google it and see exactly where he lives. And you think people aren't not going to be like crazy and be standing outside his apartment or like in the lobby trying to get up to his floor. Like, that whole information is public. So like, think about it this way. Like, when you're going to a festival and you're at like the artist lounge where you want to feel safe and feel like secure and like you're prepping to play, there's a bunch of like randos that snuck in, and you're not going to feel very safe and secure when they're like banging on your dresser or like your little RV. Because they have the little star wagons at all these Insomniac events, and there's like randos that are being like, oh my god, I'm such a big fan, like blah, blah, blah. Like, sometimes it's cute, but sometimes it can be really scary, because I'm friends with a lot of DJs, like a lot, and every time we would go out in public, especially at these festivals, I'm scared for them, and I'm accompanying them, and I have to like I feel like a bodyguard at sometimes. I'm just like, the stuff that people say is atrocious. It's bad.
Yeah, people get pretty fucking wild.
It's scary. Like, these cult followings are very scary. So
I can just see too in all the DJ phases just how much stress they go through too. Like, people think, oh man, the DJ life just seems so sick and so fun, but it's probably it's definitely one of the most stressful things I've seen.
Yeah.
I was talking about this on another podcast, but I used to coach Kai Wachi, and he just
we talked about this.
Yeah, dude, like the fact that they don't have a regular circadian rhythm, and that's already one of the most important things that you need to maintain a lower stress life. Like, if you don't have a proper circadian rhythm, getting proper sleep, that's the first step to being healthy.
Sometimes they're playing shows at like 2 or like 7 a.m.
Yeah.
Like, imagine like during Miami Music Week, Fisher, he went on at 7 or 8 a.m. and he played until like noon.
Right.
That's like so bizarre. You're playing at like the most random hours of the day.
Right.
Like, you could be playing a pool party, and then you would go, like, some of my friends will play a pool party in Vegas, and then they'll go home and nap at like 4 o'clock, and then they'll wake up at 9 p.m. and go straight to EDC and play.
Yeah, because they have to go through, like, they'll have to go to another flight and go to another place.
And then they helicopter in, and then they play EDC.
Right.
And then they'll be like, oh, sorry, can't stay to hang out. I have to fly to freaking Netherlands for a show I'm playing. Like,
right.
I'm like, you're going to fly for 20 hours from EDC Vegas after doing all that and then go to Netherlands? I'm like, you're crazy.
Yeah, dude.
Like,
DJ life ain't
thinking about it.
Not necessarily. I mean, if you're looking for like the fun party life, DJ life is definitely not 100%.
I mean, let's look
be a give and take for
let's
sure.
look at John Summit. He's on a bender every day. Like, he's always partying. I have never seen this man not incredibly like hammered. I've seen him perform, I don't know, like probably more than I've seen my parents this year. Like, in the past year, I think I've seen him like 12 times. And genuinely, when I say he's blasted all the time, I'm like, how the hell are you operating right now?
Seriously.
It's so bad. But like, that's the thing. It's like, some DJs can take it to the next level, and they could just be doing a lot of like drugs, alcohol, just to keep themselves alive, alert, and awake, and be able to perform. And they just love it so much. And then there's other DJs that are like, they play and then they go take a nap and they're like dead for like up until they do the next show, and then they wake up right before the show and go.
So that's the thing, is just like how long can these people really, how long can these people really keep this up, you know?
Until burnout.
Yeah.
Some of my friends went through very public burnouts. Very bad.
Public burnouts?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean by public burnouts?
So there's times where like, if DJs overbook themselves, like one of my friends had like 180 shows or 200 shows in a year. There's 365 days in the year. Like imagine how much traveling that is. And like the amount of like substances that you need to do in order to keep yourself awake for that type of life. Like he would literally play a show and then be on a flight and then play another show in the same day.
Yeah.
And like just wouldn't sleep, would try working out, like overextend yourself so far. And it's so important to like not only rest, have a good life balance, and also be able to train and eat healthy.
Yeah.
But a lot of these like artists, they're not doing that. And they're just kind of overextending. So that's why like I'm worried about, like there's some artists that like constantly party and do all that. I'm kind of worried about them because I've seen it already happen to some of my friends. And I'm like, they retired for like years because they could have died easily from all the partying that they're doing.
It happens. It does. I think I'm always wondering how Sylvan King is even able to keep up the fact that
and he has a kid.
He has a wife and a kid.
Yeah.
And then he's going on tour all the time. That's definitely a game changer. When your partner can like go on the tours with you. But
yeah, I don't know what she does, but I met his child at EDC Orlando. I was a little drunk, so I wasn't gonna be like, I'm not gonna handle a baby in this intoxicated state. But I did meet his child, and his wife was there too. So he does travel with them. They're always there. So it's nice to like be able to do that, but it's also like, how much can a person like do both, still have a family and kids, and merge the two together? Yeah. I feel like it's kind of like an impossible task being on tour with a family. Right. Especially like a newborn.
Okay. So going off of that, since we're already talking about family and like balancing the DJ life with, say, your actual lifestyle, your healthy lifestyle. So bodybuilding and raving, bodybuilding and festivals, that's a fucking thing. And it's been a huge thing.
You're really good at it.
I don't know.
we literally just talked about this on, was it Saturday?
Yeah, we did.
On Saturday, we were talking about how good like Nyle is at like managing bodybuilding like and raving. Cause I feel like you do like the proper amount. Whereas like some people could just go one or the other extreme. And like when they do rave, they're like they're kind of anal about it.
Yeah. We were having quite an interesting conversation.
Interesting for sure.
It was where were we? Yeah, we were at Rebecca's place.
House.
It was just you, me, and fucking John.
Yeah.
Good old John Skywalker.
John Skywalker. We're just talking about raving.
His space knowledge.
Space knowledge, understatement. The most random combo. But yeah, we did talk about raving a bit and like finding a good balance. Yeah,
I just think that the thing about the balance thing though is like I think back in the day maybe I had like a better balance, but nowadays, at least these days, I have actually a lot more priority in not going to festivals, not going to events. To be honest, I'm actually fucking shocked that I'm going to this many events right now, and it's literally because you guys are all such peer pressure.
Yeah, that's fair. To God. Fair enough.
Like I would not be going to EDC if I did not know you people. This is a 1,000,000%.
No, that's why I go, because like genuinely I would just be going to like EDC Las Vegas, like Ultra, EDC Orlando, like Beyond is the same time, but like Nocturnal, like, you know, it's once every month. But then Bryn or like, you know, Christina or someone will text me, Caleb, be like, hey, you want to go to this? And I'm like, kind of kind of down to hang, like whatever, I'll just go do something. But yeah, it's definitely hard to find like a balance, but even when I'm going to these things, I'll still try to train. Like it's extremely hard to train at EDC Vegas. I only trained once in the 3 days, but I was still like, I really have to train. I have to get up. I have to get moving. Like first day I drank, second day I didn't drink anything. I had like one Moscow Mule and I was like, that's it. I'm capping it there. And I left at like
impressive midnight. For the whole day.
I left at midnight. I was like, I'm tired. I want to go to sleep because I want to be okay for Sunday. And then Sunday, genuinely don't know, but Sunday I did train before. So I was like, I felt really, really good. I felt really good. It was a nice balance. So it's like figuring out how much your body can take and then having like a day. If you're going at like all 3 days, the middle day usually being like your chill rest day. That's the key.
I think so. This is something that I want to bring to light because there's a lot of negative connotation out there for something such as raving, especially if you're applying it to like a sport like bodybuilding or fitness. Like for one, like they tend to be contradicting, but I think a lot of the negative connotation, of course, comes from what everybody, what comes to mind for most people when they hear the word raving or bodybuilding is drugs. Drugs. Like steroids and recreational drugs.
Lots of recreational drugs.
Right. So like one thing that I do want to clear up for balance is it's not necessarily like what I want to say from my perspective, my anecdotal evidence of doing this is that for me, it wasn't about balance. It was more so about awareness and knowledge. And it was more so about actually choosing decisions that were healthy for myself in the long run.
Exactly.
And I'm not going to say that I didn't do any substances. Of course, I'm not going to say that because I'm not going to lie, but, the most important thing for me was to be aware of what would each substance do to me, and how is it going to affect my health, and is it worth it to even do it, and what can I do to enjoy my life, be present in the moment, whatever, but make sure that I'm also being conscious about my future at the same time. And so all the things I would do would come down to such as like I would actually smuggle protein bars into the raves, like just fucking crotch that shit.
Yep.
Protein bars and protein powders.
Witness.
That's how you stay on your protein synthesis.
Yeah.
Bros. Plus the fact that you get like 20,000 steps each day or something like that, bro. Think about how
20,000 easily.
Think about it.
I wake up so shredded.
Yeah. Right. And then imagine that you're actually maintaining your protein synthesis throughout the entire time by consuming the protein you smuggled into the rave. You literally just did. You literally just did like a fucking like 12-hour Stairmaster. Good for you, bro. Now you're going to be fucking shredded for your next, competition. But when it comes to...
And a lot of dancing. The steps does not count all the dancing.
No, yeah, that's basically what I mean is the dancing. Especially if you're
But like steps, but also like walking around the festival itself.
Oh, yeah.
Especially EDC Vegas. It takes it's like 2 miles. It's like 2 miles to go from one side to the other.
Right.
It takes me like 2 hours.
I've actually wanted to get my blood work done before EDC and then get my blood work done afterwards again.
That would be interesting.
How my levels would change, and then also if my HDL and my LDL happen to actually get better from all the cardio. I feel like that'd be kind of cool.
Try that.
But then then you see my liver enzymes go up.
Yeah.
JK guys. But in the past, I would say that if you are doing something, if you're doing like fitness and you're going to festivals and stuff, like be aware of what you're putting in your body because everything will react in some kind of way.
And make sure you're testing it.
Right. So like if I'm going to be real right now, for example, if I'm going to a festival, like I avoid majority, if not almost all substances now.
Same.
I'll drink caffeine and sometimes I'll do like a microdose of acid or a microdose of shrooms. That I always find to be just no health issues, especially if it's a microdose and, I'm staying in the right state of mind, then we're good. But
and also with the right people.
Right.
I feel like.
But there are a lot of things that can be really dangerous that like will also affect, like, say if you're like, you guys want to have a balance, you want to make sure that you're you're staying jacked and you're on your program, but you also have a great next week. You're also keeping your health intact. And you're not, ruining your health in a spiraling manner in the long run. Like you want to make sure that you're not taking things that are going to affect your sleep. For example, this is probably going to include like stimulants and cocaine and all the above shit.
But like, I feel like out of both of us, I'm worse off in the sense that I feel like alcohol is more damaging.
I think it is too.
Than doing something like shrooms or like a microdosing. I mean, I've never microdosed acid. Is that the same as LSD? I'm so uneducated.
Yeah.
Like I've done like the smallest microdose of LSD like one time and I didn't feel like anything. Like it just made things a little bit more vibrant, but that's really it. So I didn't notice.
That sounds like a microdose.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
A normal microdose.
But I was like, am I supposed to feel something crazy? Because I don't feel anything. But I was also very scared and I'm not into drugs. I don't experiment with like anything. I'm totally fine saying this on camera. Like I've done Molly 2.5 times. So like, and I've been to like 1,000,001 festivals. So that's just like out of like all the experience I've had, I haven't used like any drugs. Like that's the only drug I've ever used at a festival setting. So I mean, it's doable. You could still enjoy it.
No, you absolutely can. It's all a state of mind, and I think people don't realize that. Is like when it comes to the balance of festivals, like a lot of people in the industry will probably compare themselves, or like when they think about this shit, what comes to mind is like people like, oh, Z's, or I had a podcast with his brother Chesbra, and we were talking about the same thing about bodybuilding and raving, and he was talking about how he would like take like 400 grams of test with like tren, and then also smash some Molly at the festival and stuff, and probably some uppers. And that's the thing is like if you're taking something, for example, like Clan, which is a steroid, dangerous. Exactly. If you're taking Clan with an upper like a stimulant, it's going to affect your health or your heart. And you don't know. Most people don't really know to what degree they're genetically prone to heart issues more than others. You know, you could be someone that's already genetically prone to that. So imagine that you combine that stuff, you could instantly have a heart attack at the rave. So it's like being aware of what you're doing and what you're taking, and realizing that some things are just not worth it, and just choosing the healthy route, whatever healthy route that you can take. And so definitely, there's definitely a list of things that I would like personally say like you should avoid, or you should be like, I kind of want to talk about them honestly.
Honestly, why not?
Yeah.
Because it's better that people are educated if they're going to a rave, and there's a lot of substances that you can get, especially at the rave itself. And just there's drugs floating everywhere. So, you know, if people have access to them, they might as well know like what's safe and what combos they should avoid and everything. If like you're educated on it, then it's useful for people, especially people are going to want to try anyway. So you might as well like, help them.
Okay. Well, I guess first off, I would just, going to try to go through this quick, but first off, I'd say MDA. You never really know what's in it. You could always have fentanyl in it, mixing it. So like, that's why you should always
test it.
If someone gets it, it needs to be tested. And
you could get testing strips on Amazon. You can get them at like rave stores, like Rave Wonderland and iHeart Rave and all that. Like you can get testing strips. It's very easy. So make sure you test your Molly.
Then press pills. Yes, I have done press pills way back, years back. I do not do press pills. And I would recommend never doing them.
For Molly?
Those are ecstasy. Like the little like Teslas, SpongeBob's.
I did. My first one was a pressed pill, and it was tested, and it was 10 out of 10 experience. My second time was powder, like like the pure crystal, and smashed, put into a water bottle, and shared with like a few people.
Wow. Okay.
And yeah, the halftime.
Wild.
The halftime was Halloween. We also did it, but it was so much less. That's why it's like not really counted, but it's still like 2.5. So I've done crystal the 2 times, and then the pill, and each time was a 10 out of 10. But you just genuinely, you have to make sure you test your substances, whatever it is, and make sure you get them from reputable people, please. Because one of my friends, she took Molly and she was throwing up everywhere, like the whole night. So, and like definitely did not feel good for like a week after. So it's very scary.
Yeah, and then I would say also, in addition to that, so press pills definitely not. I would recommend highly against that. And you never know what it's mixed with, and it could be mixed with speed. It could be mixed with methamphetamines. It could be mixed with fentanyl, and all of these are extremely dangerous, especially fentanyl at some of the doses that it's been in a lot of these substances. So could literally kill you there. So we recommend against those for sure. Let's see what else there is. I have always avoided cocaine. I haven't been a fan of cocaine, and I don't do it. And
not a fan.
It's really bad on the mental health and on your dopamine system, and it's really, especially during the times that people take it, it's really going to affect your sleep like greatly. And this is a huge factor for maintaining like good mental health. So if you're going to a rave and you end up doing things like that, uppers and stuff, that's going to be a big reason why the next week you're not getting the proper sleep, you don't have the right circadian rhythm, and you're also feeling really, really down, unmotivated, depressed. You're lacking a lot of dopamine. And it also causes a down spiral with your mental health.
Someone's been watching the Huberman Lab podcast.
Oh, I always do.
Yeah,
I love
same.
that guy.
I could tell the way that you're
it.
speaking just reminds me of Andrew Huberman.
Does it really?
Because I just watched like a dopamine reset podcast. Because I was like, okay, how like resetting your dopamine so you could be more productive throughout your day and accomplish your task. Because I was like, okay, I think I'm like raving too much to the point where my dopamine levels are so far gone that I just don't find pleasure in doing my everyday tasks. So I was like, what can I do to be more productive? And you just were like, let me be Andrew Huberman real quick. But yeah, go on.
And then this is something that I also used to do that I actually don't recommend because apparently there's something that I learned recently, but I used to drink caffeine, and then sometimes I do just like a little bit of MDMA back in the day. But I realized caffeine mixed with MDMA can actually cause some toxicity.
Interesting.
Yeah, which is pretty interesting.
I've never even tried that, but
I've never felt it very much. I know that there's probably a fuck ton of people out there that do that, probably smashing Red Bulls while they're out on rave, but they're also
aren't you also not supposed to drink alcohol on it too?
You're not supposed to take a lot of things together.
Yeah.
And alcohol is one of the worst substances that you can take and mix with any drug. And I hate to say this because I know that you enjoy your alcohols, but
I enjoy my no.
But in my personal
because
opinion,
I don't want to do drugs, so I'm like, alcohol. It is, I guess. But it's honestly so bad. I know it's so bad. So I'm like, what can I do now instead of drinking?
It's crazy that alcohol is the accepted form of substance
and it's
abuse
one of the worst,
here, especially in America. Well, actually everywhere. It's just crazy because it's literally one of the worst substances that you could potentially take. It's one of the best. It's fire. Yeah, it's just fucking one of the worst. And you mix
hey, doctor, what can I do instead? What do you recommend? Shrooms? That's natural. That's a mushroom that comes from the earth.
Make love, that work.
What can I do instead of alcohol? Because I've reached the point where I have 2 glasses of wine or 2 mixed drinks, and I'm hungover for like literally a week.
It's hard. It's hard.
Like, we're getting up there.
I mean, that's the hard thing is that I can't make any recommendations because there's not really anything that will replace that.
I know.
There are substances out there that people try to use to replace that. There's some things I can say, like a lot of people these days use things such as ketamine, and there's also another substance called GHB. A lot of people believe that ketamine can make you feel wine drunk in a way, but ketamine I think is really honestly the most beneficial when it comes to psychotherapy. And so I think it's really best used in in a place where you're using it for a purpose. But, people will also take it to like disassociate for a little bit and relieve. And sometimes that's okay because luckily ketamine doesn't have too many researched long-term negative health effects. If you use it too much of it in the long term and like consistently, probably like every day, you're probably going to have some memory loss or something like that. And I'm sure there's some sort of liver toxicity in there as well. But compared to everything else, it's actually surprisingly relatively safe-ish. GHB is probably one of the most dangerous drugs out there when it comes to dosing. You could probably die from it instantly if you overdose. Absolutely instantly.
God, that's scary.
Right. But a lot of people, for the long-term effects, I don't really know too much about long-term negative effects on your health unless you're really abusing it consistently all the time. Since it is actually a drug for narcolepsy, it's supposed to help narcoleptics go to sleep, and thus they get REM sleep. They take it twice during the night. The first cycle, they take it, go to sleep instantly. Second, 3 hours later again, take it, go to sleep. Then the next day, it's supposed to help them stay awake during the day so they don't fall asleep randomly. And this reacts with your GABA receptors, which makes you feel chill, relaxed. It's the opposite of an upper, like a cocaine or whatever, but it gives you a feeling of euphoria. And so that's why people take it, because it essentially literally makes them feel exactly like a mix of being drunk with a little bit of Molly.
Is that an opioid?
It's not an opioid. But it feels a little different. It feels like you're drunk with like maybe a little bit of like Molly, a little bit of like lovey-doveyness.
Interesting.
Yeah. But long-term effects would say, there's not too many research long-term effects compared to things like alcohol or cocaine or heroin or whatever, opioids, especially opioids. But short-term, if you overdose on it, you'll die. So
cool.
People need to be aware of that as well. And there's just a host of other things. But anyways, all I have to say is that...
Don't do drugs, you will die. That's all we got.
It's best just not to do drugs, yeah, for sure. It's best just not to do them. Or take a little microdose of psilocybin and
get
a little loopy.
You're like, don't do drugs. Or
it's like a vegetable, right? Fungi?
Yeah, mushrooms come from the earth. It's fine.
Oh, another thing I have to say, I had actually been a big fan of kratom, but one thing about kratom, I actually got into a kratom addiction and I stopped and I overcame it. I don't take kratom at all, but sometimes I'll take maybe like 1 dose a week or maybe 2 doses a week max. But anytime above that, I realize my digestion already starts slowing down, because what kratom will do is it'll slow your digestion, severely dehydrate you, give you constipation as well, especially over the long period of time. If you're a bodybuilder who needs to eat consistently a lot of protein, for example, this is going to affect your digestive system. You can get IBS and some fucking terrible issues from being a bodybuilder while taking kratom. That's just simply because of the digestion issues that
they sell kratom.
Kratom's legal in most places.
Yeah, they sell.
The only place in California it's not legal is San Diego, which is really ironic.
Yeah, because that's where you're from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
the laugh.
But, I mean, other than that, though, kratom's pretty nice because if you take it at low dosages, it acts as a stimulant, kind of like caffeine. So you can like work and it gets you really productive. You feel motivated, gives you a sense of euphoria. And then you take it later in the day, it doesn't really affect your sleep, especially not like caffeine. So that's why I was really obsessed with it, because I was taking kratom like throughout the entire day in order to work from 9 a.m. till midnight. Like consistently, and it felt great. I was like, fuck yeah, I love work. All I want to do is work. I don't want to hang out with anyone. I just want to work. It was fucking crazy. And I got to a point where I started taking kratom 3 times a day at almost 8-gram doses each time. That's fucking nuts. And so that's where I
take it.
No, now I take it if I take it, I'll take it once during a week, and I'll take it at 1 gram. Which is a huge microdose. If you look up the dosages online that are standard, it's like a microdose, but I'll still feel it. People won't realize you can still feel that. It's pretty crazy. But even if I take just 1 gram, I'll notice the next day my digestion has slowed down just a little bit, which is insane. It's insane how much it affects me, at least. But
yeah, I've never tried it, so I don't know.
Man, it does feel good.
After this podcast ends, he's gonna go reach for his bag of kratom.
I just
well, since we were talking about it.
Honestly, the best substance I'd say out there, the best and healthiest substance is probably caffeine. And even caffeine has its drawbacks. So
even caffeine's.
Yeah, I can't even take creatine. Creatine dehydrates me way too much.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why I can't consume enough water to properly hydrate myself. I can't have
weed, like anything weed, like edible, like smoke a joint. It makes me extremely dehydrated.
That happens to some people.
Yeah,
some people react badly compared to others.
Yeah, weed for me has never been a substance that I liked. I avoid it as much as I can.
Would you consider yourself like somewhat neurotic in general, or?
Well, I mean, in what way?
I don't know. I would say, like, for example, like, I mean, I would like to consider myself a chill person, but I know I'm not, because I'm always like, I want to work, I want to do this. Like,
yeah,
it should, like, things, like, I've let go of the whole, like, shit should be this way mentality, but I know for a fact that it's like
both. It depends on what. If it's something that's like important to me that I prioritize, I'm very much neurotic, but there's other things that I can be extremely chill and like ambivalent about.
Okay.
So I would say both.
Okay. Well, all I know is that for weed, some people will react. When people take weed, some people react with a lot of paranoia and some anxiety, whereas other people...
I get anxiety.
Other people won't react with that at all, and it'll actually make them feel more chill. Some people, it'll actually increase their prolactin significantly. Some people, it won't increase their prolactin very much at all. If your prolactin is increased significantly, especially if you're a guy who's prone to something like that, it can completely change your mindset, your state, and also affect things such as like your fucking nipples. You'll probably like get gynecomastia from an increase in prolactin.
Weed?
Yeah, from weed. Like weed can make some men.
Makes so much sense.
Weed can literally make some men just never want to do anything anymore. Their complete life changes.
It does make
everything.
It like when I've noticed other people smoke weed, it does make them extremely lazy.
And you want to know something even more interesting? What the dad bod is from? The dad bod is from when a man has a child, his prolactin naturally increases. His prolactin naturally increases, which means he starts being able to put fat a lot more on easily. The nipples, maybe if he's prone to that, then he'll get a little bit of gut capacity, or maybe he'll just, I don't know, he'll have bigger like nipples or whatever. But he starts being wanting to, prolactin is the motherly hormone that makes you want to nurture, like, for example, say a child. So that's where the dad bod comes from. Prolactin also increases in a lot of men who smoke weed. So when you smoke weed as a man, you're prone to that stuff. You're probably like, you could just gain weight and you can become unmotivated. You won't get the shit done that you want to before, that you wanted to before. And I mean, your whole personality and your like state of mind and your drive can totally change, especially if you get addicted to it. So
addicted to weed?
Yeah. Like I used to be a fucking hardcore stoner. And now I don't.
I could see that. No, I could see that.
Now I don't smoke at all. Like the last time I had something was I had 2.5 milligrams of THC with 5 milligrams of CBD in a gummy edible last week.
Tell me why I did that last night, thinking I can reset my sleep schedule. I was like, because I have like three little things of El Caminos, and one little thing of like this elderberry that I bought at MedMen, and it's the smallest dose of THC. It's like 1-to-1 THC CBD. So each gummy is 5 milligrams of THC. I took half of it, and I'm high out of my mind. I'm laying in bed trying to sleep, being like, oh, like I took a sleep gummy, and I'm laying in bed trying to sleep. It's indica, obviously, and I'm like, so like tossing and turning, like so dehydrated. I feel like I haven't drank water in like 10 years, and I'm like freaking out, like, God, like I've had 4 water bottles at this point, and I'm laying in bed with like a mountain pile of water bottles because I can't quench my thirst. And I'm like, I'm never doing this again.
Holy crap. I can't believe that shit smacked you that hard.
Well, I don't because I don't do anything.
Right.
So like sometimes I'll be in my delusional stage and I'll be like, okay, maybe this will help me sleep. And I keep forgetting that it gives me anxiety, and it doesn't make me, it makes me feel like as though I have one brain cell. I'm kind of operating on like RAM full, like no storage capacity. So I'm just sitting there like an absolute potato, being like, if I took this and I wanted to be productive, I just would not be able to. So I completely like identify with the people that like get like the prolactin and they just freaking turn into dad bods, because that's me.
Well, here's the thing: is prolactin is the I was gonna say antithesis. What the fuck is the word? I don't know why I'm brain farting again. Oh my God. I can't think of the word. Anyway, prolactin is the anti-something of dopamine, which means as prolactin increases, dopamine decreases. And you know that dopamine is like your motivating hormone, right? So that's again an explanation for why dad bod, when your prolactin increases because you have a child, you start getting a little bit more lazy. You just want to nurture, you get fat, you get lazy. Weed, antithesis of dopamine.
I get fat and lazy on weed.
You're fucking fat and lazy. You don't want to do anything. You don't want to do anything. You have no energy.
It's my least favorite.
It saps your energy.
Least favorite substance. I don't get it. I don't get the appeal. I also hate like anytime someone would like smoke it, and I could feel everything just burning in my esophagus, and I'm just like, this is the worst and most unpleasant feeling, and you guys do this every day. I'm like, or am I just like doing it wrong?
It's conditioning, because as you consume substances that make you feel really, really good, the more you consume them, the more that you enjoy either the taste or the feel of consuming it. So coffee, for example, I
hate it.
A majority of people hate the taste of coffee when they first try it. But you learn to love coffee. Why? Because it feels fucking good. You know what I mean? Same thing with kratom.
Have you done like a caffeine cleanse?
I have. I actually don't drink caffeine now, unless like for this podcast, I had 20 milligrams of caffeine in a diet Sunkissed.
Nice.
19 milligrams to be real. But
still something, but yeah.
It's weird though, because Now it's like I don't know. I was enjoying Wrecked, the pre-workout by Huge, but now that I don't drink caffeine, I just do the pump serum.
How long have you not drank caffeine?
I had just come off of it. I just haven't really been doing it for the last like couple months.
Okay.
But like I will chime in and use it when I need it as a tool because I find out that's what benefits me
with
more.
Pre-workout.
It's hard though. Yeah.
I don't take any pre-workout. I just drink coffee. And like if I'm just like feeling extremely just so down and unmotivated, I will use a pre-workout as a tool, but I won't even use, like I'll build my own. Like remember I was telling you about how I just hate all supplements. I don't take any supplements. Mm-hmm. I started building my own and buying like just basic like vitamins and like nitric oxide, all these things to build my own like pump and pre-workout and like a caffeine pill instead of doing like the pre-workout powder that has the sucralose, the artificial colors, natural flavors, all these things that I just genuinely don't want in my body, making a little concoction for myself.
Nice.
Yeah, being a Breaking Bad Walter White scientist over here.
That's kind of fun.
But it's fun. Every day I have like my little routine if I need that.
Right.
Other than that, I'm just doing literally 2 espressos and out the door.
I do smash all of Huge's pump stuff though. They have Magnify, that's 6 pills. They have Arachnidote, that's 3 pills. And then they have Pump Serum, which is that fat ass fucking scoop of like 8,000 milligrams of L-citrulline and a bunch of other shit.
That's crazy.
Oh, it feels fucking good though. To be honest, I had a fuck ton of questions, especially from the Instagram that
like we
didn't get to. But
I feel like this is how it goes. But we could film another portion.
Okay.
I'm totally like I just have to go to Mike's.
Yeah. Let's get you to fucking Mike's so we can get those fucking guest passes.
So we can get our guest passes.
All right. Well, damn, man. Some people were even asking you about Dave.
No, I'm not gonna comment on that. Of course.
Of course.
I genuinely have not publicly commented about any of my relationships.
That's
like,
smart.
After the fact, during the fact, before, like nothing.
Yeah, it's a smart move. Very unlike me, who created a whole podcast on it.
Really?
Yeah,
I can't.
Podcast with my ex.
See, I don't even know what I would say, like publicly, because I've never publicly said anything. I just kind of was like, oh.
It's better that way.
Keeping this private. It's better.
You could just tell me behind cameras.
I will. I'll give you the gossip.
But anyways, guys, I'll just close this out now, just in case. But Abby, thanks for being on the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Where can we find you?
Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Snapchat, Twitter, and SoundCloud. Also, I'll have a Spotify very soon because I'm going to be releasing some songs this summer.
Hell yeah.
Not yet.
Not yet, but this summer. It's going to be fucking sick. What's your DJ name going to be?
My DJ name is Domina. So it's going to be mostly like techno, like very deep tech, borderline hardstyle. Like, because OG hardstyle is hard tech.
It is.
It's the same thing. But I just really like hard techno. And then I also like melodic techno. So like Anima, like Tale of Us, like that kind of style really resonates with me. So I started producing like that. And then like hard tech, like Will Sparks.
Okay.
So he was like also borderline like hard style. And then like bass housey kind of abstract vibes. So like, and like Drezzo. So merging all that into like,
nice.
So it's gonna
be sick.
It's gonna be fire.
You want the dark vibes?
Yeah, dark vibes.
Cool. Well, thanks for being on the podcast. That was fucking fun. I got through like 20% of the questions.
Nice.
So. That's how you know we always have good conversations.
Good for us.
Yeah. So thank you guys for watching again. I always really appreciate you guys for watching. This is like my biggest passion, so it means a lot when you guys do support. And please, if you could support the podcast, the best non-cost way is to rate us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and also subscribe to the YouTube channel, and please share it with your friends and family.
Give it a thumbs up and like it.
Yeah.
And subscribe. Share to 5 friends. Put it in your group chat. I know you guys have group chats. I'm in some of them. Send it in those group chats.
Send in the Discords.
Discords, please.
Appreciate you guys again so much, and thank you for watching. I love you guys. If you have any questions about drugs, PEDs, bodybuilding, raving, anything, any of the above, please ask them in the comments. I'm going to be responding more to the comments now since I'm finding it really fun to be engaging with them. And also, if you're having any issues with HRT or with your hormones and stuff, maybe you're having prolactin issues like we talked about, then I would get your blood work done. You can get that done anywhere. But if you are curious and want to contact my HRT clinic, which is bodybuilding friendly, that's Transcend HRT, and that link is also in the description. So thank you guys. Nyle Naga, Transparent with Podcast, and Evie, Yeva Leva. Peace, guys. Yeah.